Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Travis Wallace. I am a photographer and content creator based out of Brampton, Ontario. Today I'll be talking to you guys about my favorite YouTubers, especially those YouTubers that are photographers in real life. And the reasons why I chose to do this are basically predicated on me trying to develop my personality and looking at other people and trying to take different things from them to see where I actually fit. So it's sort of like developing my personality and what interests me or sparks my interest a lot. And while I was doing my research, trying to develop my own personal branding or my own idea of what my type of photography or my type of videos for YouTube are going to be, I looked at these specific people and I'm going to be sharing them with you in just a second. The first person that I started to look at was the notorious Sean Tucker. There's something really amazing about the way that Sean delivers his message, and he's just a really genuine, down-to-earth person, purely honest, and you can see his authenticity in the way that he portrays all these videos and all his photography is just raw, and there's this sense of like vintage wisdom that comes from Sean when he actually speaks in regards to his videos, and that inspires me on a great different level. One thing that I also admire about like Sean is his personal history and his story and his humility. One thing that really stood out to me when Sean speaks in his videos is just that philosophical nature that he exudes when he says stuff, and that the way he presents his images, and that really inspires me a lot. So Sean Tucker really inspires me to be that authentic and genuine in the way that I portray myself and the way that I portray my art, and try not to fit into the boxes that are placed on me by the gatekeepers and label makers of photography. Even my very set right now is a bit inspired by Sean Tucker's setting in his living room. And you can see the couch behind me right now, and the yellow line on the side is something that I picked up from Sean that I felt like suited my personality. It's just the warm tone colors kind of reminds me of like just calmness and contentment, and sort of like a philosophical way of viewing life. Another YouTuber that I absolutely enjoy listening to is James Popeyes, or Poppies. I'm not quite sure how you say his surname, but James really, James is such a funny guy, and the way that he portrays his images and the way that he portrays his ideas of photography and how he feels about photography, he gives one person the sense of feeling like you don't have to go like extremely crazy about all the trends and extremely crazy about all the acquisition of gear, and it really calms you in a way that makes you feel like what you have is enough. And I love that about James Pappas, and the way that he portrays his messages. Sometimes he just rambles stuff, and it's like it's so funny sometimes, and you just laugh and you just realize that this guy is not actually pretending. Like, this is his personality, this is actually who he is. And it's just so inspiring to see that raw authenticity from people that actually pick up the camera, because sometimes when people record, they are going off of scripts and things like that. I'm not saying that these YouTubers would actually do this. Of course, they had to do pre-planning of their videos, but you still see the genuineness based on the way that they portray themselves, and that's just really amazing. That's something that I look for in YouTubers and photographers when I try to pick apart my inspirations and what I admire most about them. Another YouTuber and photographer that I really admire is James Windsor. I believe that's his name. But James Windsor has a teaching, a very lecturing way of bringing across his messages as well. It's similar to the way that Sean Tucker does it in a philosophical way, like going into the history. And so the thing that's really amazing about everyone here in this sphere is that they all know their history. And it's great hearing other people that are mature and knowledgeable pull back from history and pull back from different experiences in order to bring across the messages that they're portraying. It's just so amazing, because photography and art in itself is not just only about following the trends. It's about learning and growing and building and being explorative in the way that you portray your art, and learning is a part of that. So I love when James Windsor kind of gets into the nitty-gritty and the details of actually saying why this is the way that something is, and why do we believe that this is the way, and is this true? Like, is photography really subjective? And things such as why certain compositions matter. And it's not just like teaching you the aspects of photography, it's more teaching you why we think about things the way that we do, and like what is the result of those particular reasoning. And it's amazing just listening to the way that these guys just portray their work, and it's just so amazing and so inspiring. Um, Another photographer that I enjoy looking at is Matti Haapoja. I went to a Canon's Creators class sometimes last year when Matti was actually presenting some of his messages and having a panel discussion. And it was really inspiring just listening to these guys talk about like their everyday lives, talk about photography, and just being transparent with people like myself that are actually coming up and they're actually trying to make photography as best as they can, and just to actually build a career out of this in some way or another. And it's just inspiring hearing people struggle in some way, and that it just shows their transparency and their honesty and their character, and knowing that probably they have your best interest at heart and wanting to see you get better at what you do, and wanting to offer the help that they do. And it's amazing how photography brings out a lot of that in people, and in some way or another it's just more than creating stuff. It's just more than the trends. It's just more than just looking at what other people are doing. It's deeper than that, and that's why I love these guys, and I get that sense of realness from them, and it's absolutely amazing, and I love to see it. And that's something that I want to impart onto myself by reaching the level that these guys have reached, and basically trying to get the amount of knowledge that will help me be as authentic. And it's easy to get swayed by the trends. It's easy to get swayed by all the things that other people are doing that you think might look amazing, and yes, they do. We're not like debunking or mystifying anything that these guys doing that are actually really good, but it's trendy, and sometimes trendy isn't always the best thing. Sometimes trendy kind of loses its value because trends go and they come and they go and they come. It's so much that passes over time, and we want to be the kind of people that create things that last, that has an impression on people, not something that comes and you hop on it for a while, then passes away and you completely forget about it. Like, we want to live a life of purpose and create things that have a lasting impression that on people and the art that they create, because artists are so beautiful, and we want to see people bring that across to other people that would inspire them to be more and to think more and to feel more, and to impart that onto other people so they can learn as well. So those are my top 4 photographers that I really admire, and just good persons in general that I actually follow and keep up to date with. And a lot of my inspiration and the lessons that I've learned from photography and just keeping things simple comes from a lot of my interaction and my involvement in what these guys have been doing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Absolutely do check out these photographers. Check out their messages and see if you guys get the same impressions, get the same feelings that I feel when I watch these guys. And if you do, we love to interact about them and talk about what really impacts you and what really drives you to do the things that you do when you watch these YouTubers, because a lot of times we watch them and we just tend to forget about the messages that we hear. But the thing that I love about these guys is that their message is impactful and it's lasting, and that's what we all want to create: lasting and impactful art. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.